Hello, I'm Sarah Pesavento, LPGA golf instructor. In this video, we're going to talk about how to compress our irons and get some extra distance. So if you want to hit your iron solid, there's a few keys you need to do in the setup and the swing. And so first of all, talking about the setup, one thing that helps you compress the ball is starting out with a good setup and having correct angles. So we have a little bit of knee flex, we have a bend from our hips between our leg and our back, and we have some angle between the arms and the club shaft. So we want to start out with some angles. If we have a posture where our back's rounded or we're not bending our knees, it's not a powerful athletic position to be in. So we want to set up correctly, okay? And then one thing that helps with the irons is leaning the shaft a little bit ahead so the hands are slightly ahead of the ball, okay? So even with the ball or just slightly ahead for your iron setup. Ball position, short iron is going to be just about an inch or so ahead of center. Stance is about shoulder width, kind of flare open the feet a little bit. Okay, so we want to set up like this so our hands are over the inside of our left leg here in the setup. Okay, so if we set up with our hands back like this, that just promotes coming in to impact in a scooping motion or flipping the wrist too much. A lot of times if I'm teaching golfers that tend to flip their wrists at the bottom of the swing too much, the more they set up, I have them set up like this, the more that prevents eliminating that flipping motion. So we want to feel like our hands are in line or a little ahead of the ball, okay, and your hands are over inside of your left leg like that in the setup. Okay, you don't want to do it too much because if you overdo that, you might chop down and come down too steeply, and then you wouldn't hit a solid shot. So it's important, you know, to hit the ball a little bit ahead with the irons. Somewhere like in here is what you're looking for to come down and compress the ball and get more yardage. Yeah, I also find that, you know, when I teach golfers that forward shaft lean, they get like an extra club of distance, like 10 to 20 extra yards sometimes just from doing that. Okay, so we want a good setup here, good angles. So the angles help you create leverage. So when we maintain our angles as we swing, okay, so our right hip goes back, our right knee stays flexed a little bit. Okay, so you're in a powerful position now to come down and compress the ball. So we want to compress it like this, okay? So we're maintaining our angles and our posture. Also, we want to feel like we're more compact with the swing and simpler, like less extra movement. So if you move around a lot when you're swinging, it's not going to be real consistent because that changes where your arms are moving, which changes where the club is swinging. So we want to feel like you're going to swing on a good path. And then when you come down, now because you're maintaining these angles, especially the angle with the hips and a little bit of knee flex, you get the power from your bigger muscles like your legs and your upper body, versus if you're standing tall like this, you're just going to get the power more from your hands and arms. So it's just going to be a weaker hit, weaker contact. So to compress the ball, you got to get your bigger muscles into the shot. Use your upper body and your legs. So once we get to a good position here, we want to swing down, okay? And you want to be like in line with the ball as you're hitting it, so that also helps you hit with solid contact. You don't want to get like too far ahead of it or hang back too much. That'll affect your contact. So we want to be in line with the balls we hit, okay? And then after we make contact, our knees are still bent. You want to keep your hips back and your knees are bent a little, and then once you get to about here, then you straighten up and come out of your angles, and because you do want to follow through all the way and finish the swing. So we want to stay like that. We're going to hit the ball with our angles and compress it. You know, some other things that help give you more distance just in general, like more speed. If the pros on tour, I think the statistic is they swing about 81%. So if 100% is like as fast as you can swing, like 80% is a good range to be at. If you're working on swing changes and you want to slow it down a little, like 70%, that's fine, 70 to 80%. But getting more speed in your swing, along with creating the angles and the leverage, will help you get more distance. So that is something that's good to practice. One thing you can do to get a little more speed is just do some practice swings at different speeds. And you can start with just like 50%, okay, and just kind of do some swings, and then maybe do 60%, and then 70%, and then 80%, just to get a feel of how fast you want to swing. We don't want to be out of control fast, because that'll lead to inconsistency. So we're not trying to swing more than 80% most of the time. But those are some tips on how to compress your irons and get more distance. So I hope that helps your game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.